Asshole Podcast. Opinions like assholes. Everyone got one. So I invite you. I welcome you to hear mine. Part two. Part two here. You understand? I don't know how to loop and all of those shit. You know what I'm saying? If you like what you see, always jump on and offer a motherfucker some help. I try to keep from swearing or cursing, but there it was. Anyhow, asshole podcast. Even start with appears like assholes. Everyone got one, so I invite you. I welcome you to hear mine. Willie, A. The A stands for ask somebody. Prather. That's who I be, as I said previously. But anyhow, anyway, go on to finish what I was saying about the football game that happened this past weekend with Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffalo and TCU, which I went and checked right quick. Texas Christian University is what TCU stands for. And I also had to correct myself with saying that this HBU sector that Coach Prime brought with him came from Jackson State. In all actuality, it came from, I'm sorry, I said it came from, where I said it came from? I forgot, but it came from Jackson State, right? Formerly coaching at Jackson State, most of these players formerly played at Jackson State, or once Coach Prime got his offer at Colorado, they changed directions, projection of where they were going in college and came to play with Coach Prime. Now, the young man I was trying to find called him the Predator. I'm going to stay calling him the Predator because I ain't that guy. You understand me? Sometimes I like touchy shit. But anyhow, anyway, call him the Predator. Magnificent athlete. Travis Hunter is his name. Played both sides of the field. 11 reception, 119 yards. Also had one interception. 6'1", 185 pounds. But like I said before, well, on my previous video that got deleted or didn't post, whatever the hell happened to it. My son used to show me clips of this young man when he was, just really a kid, a young man in high school, and he always been nasty. That's why I remember his face and shit, not trying to be funny, but, he ain't the most appealing looking nigga. He kind of ugly, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, even though my grandmother said a man shouldn't put too much value, basically, in his looks. That's what my grandma told me. My mother will argue or beg to differ, but my grandma most definitely didn't think that a man should put too much value in his looks. But my man Travis Hunter, he ain't the most, I'm pretty, I'm so pretty. But anyhow, anyway, he ain't the most attractive looking individual in the world, I would say. But one hell of an athlete, and to each his own, he's somebody's baby, and they love him and they think he's gorgeous. I'm just saying, from my vantage point, I got these shades on too, though. I can't quite see that well. He ain't the most appealing looking person in the world. He look like the Predator. But anyhow, anyway, I just want to close that up. And I want to congratulate them young men on a hell of a game that they played. And I would also like to suggest to them that this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. Everything is just going to magnify from here. This is only the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Also, Coach Prime, also Deion Sanders, you know far better than I, from experience, I would say. But in some sense, like I said, I'm not a sports junkie, but I am a historian. And you still should know far better than I from experience that this spotlight that has been created on this organization, on yourself, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, your sons, Shador Sanders, Shiloh Sanders, your athletes, your students, your personnel, it is only going to magnify from here. It's only going to get more and more intense because I believe you all will continue to win. I'm not saying every damn game, and I'm not saying it won't be an uphill battle in a sense, but I think as long as you guys have fun, you will continue to win. You have the talent because, like so many like to try to suggest that it's inferior talent in HBU sectors. Let's be real here. I don't know if I caught it on one of these videos or not, but most talents that's in period comes from the HBCU sector. Now, when we're talking about coaches, we could argue that coaches, the most talented or recognized coaches, they don't come from HBCU sector. But just like we see in any sport or any entity that blacks are allowed to, black Americans, I'm going to say, I'm not saying anything against anyone outside of that realm or category, but I'm going to suggest black Americans, especially once given the opportunity, we have shown that we will relish and we will prosper and we will show you not innovation because we are the creators, but we will show you greatness. And so I believe that, like I said, once again, to go back to the Dr. Umar thing, I would love for Dr. Umar to state where he stands and how he feels now, given that, like I said, not that they won one game, but given that, in essence, he brought many black people with him. This is a movement. He just didn't bring himself. He just didn't sell out and go to, this PWI. This is most definitely a movement, and I think it's only going to grow. And I think it's a parallel to what we see in society and what we would continue to see in society. But yeah, man, 10 minutes seem to come creeping up on you a lot quicker than you expect it to do sometimes. But since I do have a few more minutes, I would like to shout out to Shy. I'm going to shout out to Shy here, and I think I'm going to go and I'm going to make a whole separate episode, and I probably just direct that and upload that directly to YouTube on the Shy. But I want to shout out to Shy because I think the Shy, the TV series, the Shy that's on Paramount right now, has been excellent. So I'm gonna shout out to Shy. Asshole Podcast, depends like assholes. Everyone got one. I thank you for hearing mine.